All right, thank you for everyone that is watching this video and back again. I appreciate anyone who is taking the time out of their day to listen and or to watch what it is that I have to say, because at the end of the day, I have a lot on my heart and my soul that it is that I want to contribute, and I don't feel like it's mine. I feel like it's mine to share, and I want to let it out so that I'm not taking from anyone who could possibly use a bit of support from whatever it is that I have to say in their lives. And if it doesn't help anyone, then that's okay. I'm simply getting it out because I know that that's what I have to do. So today's subject, and if I haven't said thank you. However, today's subject is going to be about how what we think we create, and that we literally can create and have anything that it is that we are thinking about. And I don't necessarily mean literally right now, and maybe not even in our lifetime, but where I'm getting at is that our beliefs are literally real, meaning that if there is, okay, well, let me give you an example first, for starters, just so it becomes a little bit clearer. But if you had taken me back 200 years ago, and I had my phone with me, and I had two phones with me, and I just like walked up to someone and I gave them my iPhone, if you even want to call it a phone. I gave them my square rectangular piece of plastic that pretty much has no buttons on it to someone, and I told them, I'm going to go somewhere very far away from you. I want you to hold this, and you'll know when it is to answer this because you'll see my name pop up on it, and I promise that we can talk, and you won't know where I'm at. We'll be very far away from each other, but I promise you that we will be connected, because there are energy, there are frequencies, there are waves, there are these things that we aren't able to see that are connecting this box to this box, and I promise you it's there. Just trust me. I highly doubt that anyone a couple hundred years ago would have believed anyone today if we had told them that this is what was happening. Well, maybe, if we had come from the future, maybe. But if that wasn't the case, what I'm attempting to say is that what we see isn't necessarily all that is, and what we know also isn't necessarily all there is. And for us to believe that just based off what we know and just based off what we believe is to be true is actually incredibly limiting. And while yes, you can argue that, well, it's not necessarily limiting, we just need evidence. Well, if you're waiting for your evidence, then what if you never get your evidence? You're limiting yourself. Like, two examples. The first person that ever broke the 4-minute mile wasn't really even an actual professional athlete, like someone who was actually really doing the 4-minute miles. This person was someone that just decided to train and see if they could do it, from what I'm aware of. I could be wrong. And yeah, they did this because no one could break the 4-minute mile. It was a human boundary. It was something that human beings weren't able to do, I suppose. And yeah, many people who had set that 4-minute mile attempted to beat it, and they just could not beat it, right? So if those people can't beat it, then no one can, because that's just the truth, right? However, once that man that did decide to train for it did beat it, I don't know how much longer it was after the initial couldn't beat it part happened. However, once that man actually did break that record, many athletes broke that record subsequently afterward. And what changed was not that man beat the time, it was the belief that people had about what that meant. Meaning, initially, no one thought that they could beat the mile or do a mile under 4 minutes until someone did it. And as soon as someone did it, now it's possible. And if it's possible, now people can do it. So the only thing that changed was what people believed about that situation. It had nothing to do about the situation. It just literally had to do with what the belief about that situation was, which is so incredibly powerful to me, because all that stopped people was people. And it was just a literal, I can't. And what's beautiful about whether you can or can't is that you're going to be right about it regardless. So why not just be right about, being able to actually do it or having that? And where I'm going with, second example. So that was the first example. I want to talk about that 4-minute mile. kind of forgot about the second example. However, where I'm going with all of this is that we are literally the manifestors of our own realities, and that for us to say that we can't do this because we A, don't have it, or B, haven't seen it done before, or even C, don't even know if it's possible, is limiting ourselves. And the things that are out there in the world, like, for example, technology, like what it is today, a lot of that just didn't exist back then because people didn't believe it was real. You know, it's not that they didn't have it, they just didn't believe that you could actually do something like that. And the point of all of this is, where else in our lives are we believing we can't do something? Like, where else in our lives are we believing that something is impossible because it hasn't been done? Where else in our lives are we believing that I can't have this thing because I've never had it? Like, where else in my life am I believing that I'm not going to have this romantic relationship, or I'm not going to have this car, or I'm not going to have the financial liberty, or I'm not, just because I haven't had it, my family hasn't had it, my friends haven't had it, no one I know has had it. Like, who cares? Who cares? Like, literally none of that matters, because that's not you. We're so powerful. Like, we are so powerful, and we create everything in our lives. And everything that you've experienced that has been negative and that hasn't been something that you wanted to experience is an example and is evidence of how powerful you are. Because I'm sorry to say this, but you are the one that created that situation. Well, let me rephrase that. Maybe not the situation, but whatever it is that you decided about yourself after that situation, or after whatever it is that happened. Meaning, if you were in a breakup and obviously the other person did something to you, or it didn't go well, and sure, you were great and nothing happened and it was all them, great. And that might have been the case. They may have set that situation up for you, but how did you choose to see yourself after that? What did you decide about yourself? How did you feel about yourself? All of those things you have total responsibility for, and you chose. Meaning, you believed those things. And if you can choose to believe things about yourself, or anything about yourself that is going the wrong way, then all you have to do is go the other way, because you are that powerful. We are all that powerful, and you literally have that much power inside of you. And it's incredible. Like, it literally is incredible, because I just know that everything and any thought that I've had, whether it's something that I might even experience in my lifetime, like if I said to myself, like, in my lifetime, I want to fly, and I want to fly without a plane, I want to fly without wings, I just want to fly with my body. Just my body, you know what I mean? Like, while I don't think that I can do that, and while I don't even believe necessarily that I can do that this lifetime, perhaps, maybe, and again, this is just very hypothetical, but perhaps maybe if that was a goal of mine and I pursued it, I could discover some things, and then maybe someone else would take after me, or maybe someone else would be inspired by it, or maybe someone else, and then maybe 200 years, maybe 5,000 years from now, as a result of me just wanting to fly without anything but my body, someone is flying without their body. And just because, with their body, not without one, just with their body. And just because it's one of those things that's like ridiculous, ludicrous, like, what are you talking about? Like, let's be realistic. Realisticness, realism, whatever, literally gets you nowhere. It just keeps you exactly where you are, and it's very limiting to me. And that is not necessarily over-encompassing everything. It's a general way of saying that. However, all I'm trying to say is be creative, be wild, be huge with your thinking. Like, just be out there. Like, who cares? The bigger, the better. Like, something that I want to be able to do one day is to just have the financial liberty to, like, be able to be like, all right, load one of my cargo ships with like 40 crates of this kind of food, like 200 crates of water, and then the rest in first aid, and like to just be able to send that over to another country that needs it, because I have the financial liberty to give that much away. And like, while that is huge to think about, and I don't even know how I would even begin to get there, what I'm attempting to communicate is that I'm just thinking big, and that it doesn't matter how big it is, because it's possible. I've had the thought, it's a real thing, and that's the case for everything, and that's the case for anyone who has done anything in their life that is different, that is, you know, I'm just excited about this, and I just want to share this with everyone, because we are the creators of our own realities at all points, at all times. So the bigger you want to start thinking, and can start thinking, and allow yourself to start thinking, I guess I want to say the bigger your reality is going to be, but at the end of the day, the more exciting, the more different, the differentness that your life will have. I don't know the right word. However, the impact that it can make on someone's life to know that, hey, like, okay, well, that's a belief that I had, and that's a thought, that's an idea, whatever. If I choose to now dismiss it because I think it's silly, or I think it's too out there, or I think it's too big, or I think no one will believe it, I'm just doing myself and everyone else a disservice. So I'd rather just go ahead and hold on to that. I'm going to go ahead and stick to that belief and just like have big dreams, have big goals, have big things that I want in my life, because it's okay to have them. And if I can think it, then I can have it. Like, that's why I'm able to think about it. It's not just that I'm able to think about it and that's it. Like, I can literally have that. So again, I want to just thank everyone who took the time to watch this video. I hope that one person felt like this contributed to them. I'm incredibly grateful and truly appreciate anyone who took the time out of their day to listen in or to watch this video. It means a lot to me that you would, I guess, listen to whatever it is that I have to say, and hope that I could contribute to you the way you're contributing to me. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.